With the battlefield always changing, the Army needs to stay ahead of insurgents and make well-informed decisions. One of the newest ways for the Army to do this is teaching soldiers how to use their minds more effectively through Advanced Situational Awareness Training, or ASAT.
It's human behavior pattern recognition and analysis. What it is a tool set for soldiers to be able to look at a situation and peel back the layers of that situation and understand what's going on inside it with the interpersonal relationships, what's going on body language-wise, atmospherics inside the village itself, to be able to paint a better picture for their leadership and their soldiers.
ASAT is designed to teach all soldiers to have the same mindset on the battlefield. By doing this, the force is strengthened.
This program itself is going to make each individual that takes its course so much more aware of its surroundings, and not just in a threat sense, but just in a sense of knowing what's going on in your environment.
During the initial 5-day course, students spend their first 3 days in the classroom, learning how to read people and situations through real-life examples.
It helps articulate actions that we take. As soon as something happens, you have to really be able to give a good reason for why you did something, almost a purpose.
A large part of ASAT is profiling human behavior, which is broken down into 6 domains. The 6 domains are Heuristics, proxemics, atmospherics, Biometrics, Geographics, and Kinesics. Heuristics involves using things you already know to draw a reasonable conclusion from something you are seeing.
Disregard, it looks like they're farmers.
Heuristics is basically a tactical shortcut. It's just enough information that you're visually processing to be able to draw a reasonable conclusion from any situation that's taking place in front of you.
Proxemics talks about interpersonal relationships and allows a soldier to identify high-valued individuals and high-valued targets more quickly and effectively on the battlefield.
We use an acronym called MADE, which is a mimicry, adoration, direction, and entourage, in order for our students to get the tool set in order to pick out HVIs and HVTs inside of a crowd. We tell these guys if all 4 of those don't fit, then that's not your HVI.
Atmospherics refers to the environment and being able to accurately read your surroundings.
We talk about the atmosphere you're moving into with bullet holes, rubbling, trash, graffiti. All that means something.
You could also see things like an atmospheric shift if you're at a key leader engagement and someone walks up that wasn't there at the start, and the mood of everyone attending the key leader engagement changes. That would be an atmospheric shift brought on by the outside person.
Biometrics is a term for life measurement. This is anything that your body puts out that you can't control but can be measured.
We give them examples of their histamines and how histamines will pop up when you're angry, embarrassed, or you just get done working out. So as you're questioning someone and you start to notice that histamine count come up and their face gets that histamine cross down the center.
Geographics can be broken down into 3 areas: natural lines of drifts, habitual areas, and anchor points. Students learn what these are and how being able to recognize them will help during combat.
If I was on a patrol and I had been to this village before, or even if this was my first time, I would take notice of things like natural lines of drift, because if I encounter my enemy in this area, that's what he's going to use to escape from me. Those are going to be his shortcuts up and over fences or through alleyways. I'm also at a distance going to be able to see anchor points. If I can identify any group of people, be them good or bad, I'm going to be able to see where they kind of congregate, and the separation between them will almost be like an invisible line is drawn. And habitual areas, places I would expect to see like the mosque, I'm going to take notice of who comes and goes, and I'm also going to take notice of who shies away from those kind of places.
Kinesics, also known as body language, breaks down human behavior and evaluates common body language.
We analyze just common body language that we all give off, but we really don't register inside of our mind. How a lot of males, when that dominant pose comes up, when they're talking to someone that they kind of want to have that dominance over, how we'll put our hands on our hips to make ourselves bigger.
Another large part of ASAT is the 5 combat multipliers, which are tactical patience, tactical cunning, geometries of fire, guardian angel, and good shepherd. Tactical cunning involves thinking like your enemy.
The best example that I can give is taking the lenses in which I'm viewing the world and put them on my enemy, and do the same thing vice versa. Taking how he's viewing the world and put them on my eyes to see how my enemy would attack me.
Not only must soldiers focus on others, they also must focus on themselves. This is where good shepherd comes in, which means being an effective leader.
Good Shepherd is the philosophy of making sure that your soldiers are being taken care of as a leader, making sure the information is being passed from the bottom up, from left to right, making sure that inside of that battle space or whatever moving environment they're inside of, that you're overwatching and making sure they're being taken care of.
Another combat multiplier is Guardian Angel, which means always being part of a team.
Basically having an overwatch at all times. If I'm pushing through a village, I'm going to want someone on my flank ensuring that the enemy is not going to come up behind me and catch me when I'm not ready for it.
By combining these 3 combat multipliers with tactical patience and geometries of fire, ASAT students are strengthening their soldier capabilities. Advanced situational awareness training is taking Army soldiers to the next level in combat situations. By giving soldiers a different way to look at and understand their enemies, the Army is helping its soldiers achieve overmatch in combat.
The 5 combat multipliers, paired with the 6 domains, the 7-step terrorist planning cycle, and the combat rules of 3, will make every soldier and every leader efficient, effective, and proactive in any given battle space from Kansas to Kandahar.